Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning. This is about the research methodology. Okay, in this research methodology, we will learn about the qualitative research, and then the second is about the quantitative research. By the end of this slide, I will show you how to choose whether qualitative or quantitative research in your research proposal. Okay, the first is about the qualitative research. Qualitative research is the research strategy that we are aimed to discover in terms of the human being understanding, human being behavior, experience, and interpret. We need to interpret into the words. Okay. The second is about in the research qualitative, we need to emphasize in terms of words or non-numerical data from our text, video, and audio, rather than we emphasize in terms of the numerical data statistic. Okay, according to the rule of thumb in the qualitative research question, actually we use why and how. For example, we need to know about the reason behind the decline of your daily sale rates. Okay, you nak tahu the reason kenapa you punya pendapatan you semakin menurun. Okay, setiap hari tu semakin menurun. And then you ask your customer or your respondent in terms of why our daily sale rates is decreased. And then your respondent will explain, maybe in terms of your high price, your product is very high price, your limited of the products, okay, your cost is about your behavior, staff behavior. And then you ask the respondent how we need to improve our community, our customer service. Okay, and then the respondent will explain you in terms of words. Okay, and then qualitative research, you deal with description and how to use how to gather in-depth insights into a problem, or you generate a new idea for your research. Okay, it means that according your research questions, respondent will explain to you in-depth data. Okay, dia akan explain dia akan terangkan kepada you secara lebih detail ataupun secara mendalam tentang apa masalah ataupun apa soalan yang you tanya. Okay. And then this is about the characteristic of the qualitative research. Okay, qualitative research, they involve individual or person-to-person interaction because of it involve the interview, focus group discussion, observations. Okay, so you need analyze the data from inductive. Okay, you make it the conclusion for general daripada specific data. Okay. And then qualitative research also involve the small number of respondents. You tak perlu get your respondent dengan 300 respondent. You maybe come up with the 5 respondent or 10 respondent to explain your research. Okay, and then specific research they use to collect non-numerical data. Okay, through the qualitative research method. Okay, in the qualitative research method we have interview, one-to-one interview, focus group discussion, okay, literature review, documentations, okay, and a few lah. Okay, I give you one example or one situation how to use qualitative research. Okay, if a store manager, you want to know about the reason behind the decline daily sale rate, and then they ask to HR to conduct qualitative research, such as face-to-face interview with potential customer in your store. And then at the same time, you observe the behavior of the customer. Adakah dia membeli barangan kita? Barangan yang jenis macam mana dia membeli? Okay, you observe. Okay. And then from the qualitative research or face-to-face interview, you get the data, you get the reason behind the decline daily sale rate. Kenapa? Bila kita interview kita punya potential customer yang ada di kedai kita, And then kita tanya, why you choose our product? Okay, then they explain kenapa dia pilih produk kita. And then jika dia tak beli produk kita, why you don't choose our product? Okay, because of your product is very high price. Also rather compared to other store, and then you product have no choice, limited of the product, and then you get the explanation, you get the reason behind you get the reason daripada interview session tu. Itu tujuan kenapa kita membuat interview, sebab kita nak tahu sebab apa benda tu berlaku. Okay. And then this is about the types of the research, qualitative research method. Okay, one-to-one interview. You interview with one respondent at one time. Okay, focus group. You kumpulkan beberapa responden, potential responden yang kata qualified dengan your research in one discussion. Okay. Ethnographic research, you involve with the community or you go to the rural area, okay, and then you observe their activity, you observe community activity, community attitude around 2 weeks or 6 months. Okay. And then case study research, di mana kita nak kaji kawasan tu. Okay, record keeping daripada document, okay, from the secondary data. Okay, and then qualitative observation. Qualitative observation, you kena tahulah apa yang involved dalam observation tu. Okay. And then go to quantitative research. Okay, quantitative research is used to measure the problem by the way of generating numerical data or data that can be transformed into usable statistic. Di mana you nak measure, you nak ukur benda tu, you nak ukur sesuatu masalah yang you akan dapat dalam bentuk statistik, dalam bentuk number, okay, dalam bentuk numerical data. Okay. And then based on the qualitative research, daripada apa yang you measure, you akan guna dalam bentuk nombor dan juga statistik, atau you bentuk, okay, nak tahu percentage, you nak tahu dalam bentuk graph bar, adakah dia menurun, adakah dia menaik. Okay, in terms of the, kita kata kita punya decline of daily rate, okay, a decline of a sale daily rate. Okay, you nak tahu hari keberapa kita pendapatan kita menurun. Okay, and then you akan melihat dalam bentuk graf. Okay, berapa percentage yang menurun tu? Adakah 60%? Adakah 70%? Okay, itu benda yang kita nak ukur. Kenapa? Bagaimana dia kata menurun? Okay, bagaimana kita nak kata pendapatan kita menurun? Okay, kalau kualitatif, you need to know, you want to know about the reason. Kenapa benda tu berlaku? Okay, you nak tahu kenapa benda tu berlaku. Tapi kuantitatif, you nak ukur berapa persen dia menurun. Okay, berapa persen kita menurun, and then adakah kita untung, adakah kita rugi. Okay, so your result can be your result adalah daripada large sample populations. Okay. In quantitative research, you need to have your sample size more than 300. To make sure it's very reliable and valid for your research. Okay, so daripada di mana kalau kita makin banyak kita punya sample populations, semakin valid lah kita punya data. Okay, so validity and reliability can be measured numerically using the statistical test. Di mana kita nak ukur valid kita dengan reliability kita menggunakan ujian, menggunakan statistical test seperti kita melihat in terms of the Cronbach alpha, kita melihat in terms of the correlations. Okay, itu bagaimana kita nak ukur validity and reliability. Okay, in terms of the characteristic of the quantitative used to get the answer in the numerical forms, di mana kita akan dapat in terms of the dalam bentuk numbers. Okay, the output of the quantitative research is usually in form of the graph, statistical data, table, percentage, di mana kita akan transform benda ni semua dalam bentuk graph, dalam bentuk carta bar, dalam bentuk table, dalam bentuk percentage. Okay. So, according to the some types of numerical system, kita duduk kata apa bentuk dalam numerical ni? Contoh, you nak measure the height of a person, you measure in terms of meter, berapa meter dia? Okay, adakah 15 meter, adakah 169 meter? Okay, the gender of the person, you using the numerical system by categorize. Okay, the number 1 is about female, the second of for male. Okay, the person education, you melihat in terms of the classification of the undergrad degree, okay, ataupun dia punya certificates, ataupun dia punya high level of education, sama ada primary school, secondary school, diploma or degree. Okay, a person's of political view, you measure in terms of the using the Likert scale, di mana 0 into to 5. Okay, you measure the view ataupun the expectation daripada seseorang, sama ada the 0 disagree, totally disagree, the one you disagree, the 2 is about your nature, sama ada you agree atau you tak agree, and then the 4, maybe the 3, maybe you ask the respondent to agree. Okay, and then you using the Likert scale. And then this is about the types of the qualitative research. Most of the students using the survey research. And then we need to do the correlation research between, we want to measure the hypothesis. Okay, sama ada is accepted or kita rejected. Okay, this is about the qualitative versus quantitative. We looking in terms of the comparison between the qualitative or quantitative. Okay, the first is about the quantitative. We focusing on the testing, the theory. We want to measure the theory. We not test the theory. It's about this theory is rejected or accepted. Okay, for example, we want to know if there any relationship between high price and kata daily sale decline. Okay, sama ada betul tak disebabkan high price ni sale kita menjadi menurun. Okay, so we get the answer. Okay, hypothesis 1 is accepted. Betul lah, dia menunjukkan di mana penurunan sale kita disebabkan oleh harga produk yang terlalu tinggi. Okay, so you analyze through the math and the statistical analysis. Okay, you express your data into the numbers, graph and table. You need to have many respondents. Okay, for example, your sample size must be more than 300 respondents. Okay, so you using the closed question, closed-ended questions mean that you give your choice, your answer choice. Okay, you give the answer choice questions. For example, in terms of, okay, you want to know it's about the high price. Okay, adakah harga terlalu tinggi menyebabkan menyebabkan pendapatan merudum. Okay, so jawapan you adalah yes or no. Adakah betul atau tidak? Okay, itu close-ended questions. Begitu juga you nak tanya in terms of gender, female and male. Okay, you give the answers. Okay. And the key term is about the we not testing, we not measure. Okay, in terms of the qualitative research, you focus on to explore the idea. Okay, you not focus on the, you nak bentukkan satu teori, you nak bentukkan satu hypothesis. Okay, and then you analyze this, you analyze by summarizing, you summarize apa jawapan daripada responden into the themes. Okay, rupanya yang menyebabkan kata faktor yang menyebabkan berlakunya penurunan pendapatan disebabkan oleh high price, disebabkan oleh limited of the products. Okay, you categorize pula in terms of harga, in terms of product, in terms of staff behavior. Mungkin disebabkan oleh layanan staff yang tidak baik, ia menyebabkan orang tak membeli di kedai kita. Okay, so you express lah your data into words. Okay, you need a few respondent, only 5 respondent or 10 respondent or 3 respondent based on your data. Okay, your open-ended question, you ask the question how, why, and then the respondent will answer you with the explanation lah. Okay, kita nak understanding, kita nak go in depth in the context. Okay, kita nak melihat kepada konteks tu, subjektif kita nak tahu apa faktor sebenarnya, apa benda konsep yang sebenarnya. Okay, this is some example lah. Okay, contoh kita ask the respondent, can you tell me how you feel about your experience in intensive care? Okay, so respondent 5 ni pun jawab, yes, I was admitted to the hospital. So apa yang dia rasa sangat worse lah, okay, dia struggle untuk brave lah, and then doktor come see dia, okay, and then dia explain kat situ, and then kita group lah apa yang menyebabkan. Okay, mungkin in terms of environment. Okay, satu group kita groupkan in terms of environment. Second, kita group in terms of doctor attitude, doctor behavior. Okay, the third is about the facilities kat tempat hospital tu dah mungkin the facility dia kurang kat situ. Okay, so you have 3 groups. Okay, di mana kita menggroupkan dia. Okay, so this is about the pro and cons, okay, advantage and disadvantage when you choosing the qualitative or quantitative research. And then the last one is about how to choose between qualitative or quantitative. You have one research, okay, one title, and then you need to know, saya nak buat quali or quanti. Okay, so I give you 2 example lah. Okay, the first in terms of research title, you have your own research title. Okay, for example, you want to look in terms of the student performance on virtual learning education. Okay, kita nak buat tentang prestasi student dalam virtual learning education. Okay, ya, saya rasa tajuk ni paling popular lah di antara kita punya undergraduate research. Okay, so sama ada you nak measure this title into qualitative or quantitative. Okay, bila mana you nak buat in terms of the quantitative, you need to have independent variable, dependent variable. What are independent variable? What are dependent variables? Okay, so you nak measure benda tu, you nak measure student performance, sama ada student performance dalam keadaan baik ataupun dalam keadaan tidak baik. Okay, you nak measure sama ada virtual learning education membantu student performance ataupun dia tidak membantu student performance. Itu yang you nak measure sekarang ni. Okay, so independent variable dia adalah factors on the virtual learning education. Dependent variable dia adalah sekarang ini adalah student performance. Okay, so you do your survey with 300 students. Okay, this is for example lah, saya kata satu kata artikel yang berkaitan dengan virtual learning education and student performance. Benda yang sama, okay, dia buat in terms of quantitative research. Okay, dia buat in terms of the quantitative research. Bila kita baca dekat dia punya abstract, the reason dia buat quantitative research ni adalah dia nak measure sama ada virtual learning education membantu student performance ataupun tidak. Okay, dia nak measure, dia nak ukur sama ada dia benda tu membantu ataupun tidak. Okay, so you need to have a few lah independent variable. For example, dalam virtual learning education, kita melihat in terms of the learning quality. Okay, bagaimana quality kita. Okay, and then first you have learning quality, second mungkin in terms of facilities. Okay, kalau kita nak guna virtual learning ni, kita perlu ada laptop. Okay, kita perlu ada kamera. Okay, so kita perlu ada software tertentu untuk kita masuk kelas dalam virtual learning education. So you nak tahu sama ada facilities ni dia membantu tak dalam student performance. Okay, so you measure the relationship between, okay, is there any relationship between student facilities towards student performance? Okay, student facilities on virtual learning education towards student performance. Okay, so the hypothesis is accepted di mana facilities dalam virtual learning education ni sangat penting sebab dia akan membantu student untuk skor dalam pembelajaran. Okay, itu adalah kuantitatif. Di mana kita nak measure hypothesis tu sama ada dia accepted or rejected. Okay, tapi bila mana you decide untuk membuat kualitatif, apa yang you perlu lakukan adalah you sebenarnya nak understand, okay, you nak understand the issue ataupun the role of virtual learning education. Apa peranan virtual learning education sebenarnya dalam student performance ni. Okay, dia membantu student untuk menaikkan prestasi, untuk mendapatkan knowledge. Okay, you nak tahu apa role dia. Okay, at the same time you nak explore apa faktor yang membantu kepada student performance. You nak jawapan, you nak apa penerangan faktor-faktor ni. You tak tahu lagi faktor tu. Okay, mungkin in terms of yang memberi kesan kepada student performance adalah quality of learning. Okay, sama ada cara pembelajaran atau cara pembelajaran pengajaran daripada guru ataupun daripada pelajar itu sendiri. Okay, so you nak explore lah apa lagi faktor-faktor lain. Okay, so this is you conduct lah interview with the 10 student ataupun 10 lecturers untuk lecturer tu bagi input tentang adakah student performance ni bagus, apa yang menyebabkan dia bagus, apa faktor-faktor yang menyebabkan student performance ni dalam bila berlakunya virtual learning ni semakin meningkat rupanya performance dia, bukan semakin menurun berbanding dengan physical classes. Okay, physical education. Okay, so okay, this is one research. Okay, artikel tentang qualitative research di mana dia nak explore the student experience ataupun student performance with the online class. Okay, dia nak tengok bagaimana student performance dalam online class. Okay, itu adalah beza when you want to choose whether you want to go the quantitative or qualitative. Okay. The second is about research questions. Okay, how satisfied are students with their study? Okay, sama ada question ni you nak tanya dalam kualitatif atau kuantitatif. Okay, bila you kata you nak buat kuantitatif, you need to survey with 300 student and then you need to use Likert scale. Sebab apa? Dekat Likert scale itulah kita akan melihat kepada comparison. Okay, kita melihat kepada comparison dan juga kita nak measure sama ada hipotesis kita accepted or rejected. Okay, dia relate kepada kita punya research objective. Okay, benda yang you nak measure. Okay, so ini for example lah bila you kata you nak buat kuantitatif, you use the Likert scale. Okay, first, how satisfied are you with your professor atau your lecturer? Sama ada 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, dia pilihlah scale dia berapa. So average daripada 300 student, daripada 300 you punya sample size, you can conclude that student rate their professor 4.4 out of 5. 4.4 ni mungkin dia punya goods. Kata dia sangat berpuas hati dengan dia punya lecturer dia in terms of the quality learning, in terms of material, in terms of facilities yang digunakan oleh lecturer. Okay, itu bila mana you kata you nak buat kuantitatif. Tapi bila you pilih untuk membuat kualitatif, you need to express your data daripada words. Okay, daripada explanation daripada respondent. Okay, so you conduct your interview, you ask them open-ended questions. Okay, how satisfied are you with your study? What can be done to improve the student program? Okay, the study program. Okay, so interview satu pun katalah, okay, apa benda yang kita nak improve? More one-to-one guidance daripada professor would be very helpful. Okay, so you highlight lah di mana apa yang perlu you improve adalah one-to-one guidance. Okay, interview kedua cakap, I do like my program, but one more thing to improve would be to have personal help. Okay, kita perlu dapatkan bantuan secara personal daripada kita punya lecturer. Okay, so personal help. Kedua adalah personal help. Interview, you interview orang ketiga. Okay, dia kata dia perlu guidance. Okay, so dia dapat improve dia punya study. So guidance ni boleh you conclude kan, guidance satu group, personal help satu group. Okay, so itu adalah explanation daripada kualitatif di mana you akan dapat explanation daripada responden terhadap apa soalan yang you tanya. Okay, so I think that's all for me about qualitative versus quantitative. So I hope you can do your research. You can choose either you want to do the qualitative or quantitative research. Okay. And then this is some bibliography or reference. You can explore lah apa lebih lanjut lagi. Berkaitan dengan kualitatif or kuantitatif. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you everyone.